Benji, we've been talking about how you developed American Jewish conservatives, how it's grown. I'd like to dive into some issues from a Jewish perspective. Obvious one is Israel, and we'll get to that. But what matters? What you mentioned the moral issues that line up with the Torah and so forth. What matters to a Jewish conservative?
Israel, as you mentioned, top of the list. You look at how this current administration has handled the U.S.-Israel relationship. It's been a disaster. We need to fully support our brothers and sisters in Israel.
Can I interrupt you?
Go ahead, yeah.
Just a second. So Israel, I remember as a kid, it was a bipartisan issue. Yeah, it's the only democracy in the Middle East. It's our best ally and best friend in the Middle East. There was never a question Democrat versus Republican on this. So it was easy to be Jewish and to be Democrat because everybody had a commonality that we believe and support Israel. Right. That has dramatically changed. In fact, a large portion, maybe more than half the Democratic Party is actually vocally anti-Israel.
Anti-Semitism has become a huge issue, and yeah, Israel's become a wedge issue. Unfortunately, it needs to be bipartisan. You have people within our own Congress that are anti-Semitic, openly anti-Semitic, anti-Israel. There's no difference anymore between anti-Israel and anti-Semitism, especially after October 7th. And this whole notion that somehow that we can have a two-state solution after October 7th is complete nonsense. It should be one state run by Israel, one Jewish state, and that's the end of it. And honestly, the Democrat Party has done a horrible job with their messaging, a horrible job with their policies. They've allowed these things to take place on college campuses where you're having death chants to Jews and anti-Semitism running rampant, Jews feeling completely harassed and in fear on college campuses. So to me, anti-Semitism in Israel, top issues for Jewish conservatives.
The college campuses, it seems to me that those are media staged events in a certain way because you don't see a lot of the college kids themselves being involved in that. Now, there being certain radical universities, they've trained the kids to be anti-Israel, but they're anti-America too. The exact person that is anti-Israel will come out and burn an American flag just as easily as they will say from the river to the sea and all those other terrible things that they're saying. But a lot of it, the college kids don't seem to really care about. They're importing people, it seems like.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we have people like George Soros that are propagating some of this stuff as well. Unfortunately, I hate to say he's actually a Jew. It's really sad. But
now, if I said that, George Soros, the first label slapped on me is you're anti-Semitic for you said something against George Soros. But it's okay. You say it.
The facts.
Say it again. Say it again.
Yeah, you get the point. It's we got bad apples. Everybody's got bad apples. But no, the bigger problem is the fact that we see. This is a good versus evil thing. It's not just an Israel problem. This is good versus evil. Anti-Semitism is ugly in all of its forms. It should be condemned unequivocally. And we're doing a terrible job in this country right now with anti-Semitism at the highest levels it's ever been. So that needs to be first and foremost for people.
So when people say they're anti-Israel or anti-Semitic, they're generally against legitimate free markets. They're generally against democracy. They're generally against the freedoms that we have. I mean, the very same things that are American values tend to be Jewish values, which is your main point.
Yeah, I fully agree.